My beloved child, I am speaking to you at this very moment, and I need you to remain fully attentive to every word I place before you. Do not drift away from this voice. Do not allow the distractions around you to pull your focus from what I am revealing, because what I am about to share carries significance far beyond what your natural eyes can perceive. This is not an ordinary moment. This is a meeting I prepared for you, specifically for this exact moment you are living in right now. I am not speaking from far away. I am speaking from the place where your spirit and my love meet, from the deepest part of your being where truth remains clear and my voice cannot be mistaken for another. Stay with me, my precious child. Do not hurry past this. What I am about to tell you will not only guard you from what is developing ahead, it will also redirect the course of your journey. I have been watching over you, my beloved child. I have seen every step you have taken, every door you have entered, every choice you have struggled with during the quiet hours when no one else was there. I know the burden you have been carrying, and I know the places where uncertainty has settled over your path like a heavy mist. But beyond that, I know what lies ahead. I see what remains hidden from you. I know what is beneath the surface of the circumstances surrounding you, and there is something taking shape around you right now that requires my hand before it fully develops. That is why I have drawn you here. That is why this moment feels different, because it truly is. Today I am not only offering comfort, I am offering a warning wrapped in love, protection wrapped in truth, and I am giving it to you now so that you do not have to learn through pain what I am willing to teach through my voice. Listen carefully, my precious one. There is a situation moving toward your life that carries more beneath the surface than it first appears. It may look like an opportunity. It may resemble something you have hoped for. It may arrive through a relationship, a decision, or a path that appears open and inviting. But I tell you now with the certainty of one who sees the end from the beginning, that beneath the surface of this approaching situation are seeds of confusion, loss, and pain if you enter it without allowing my guidance to lead your steps. I am not saying this to frighten you, my beloved child. I am saying it because my love for you is too great to allow you to walk blindly into something I can already see clearly. That warning you sense within your spirit right now is not fear trying to control you. It is my love reaching toward you before something unfolds that was never meant to become your burden. You have felt something recently, have you not, my child? A quiet discomfort during moments that should have felt peaceful, a small hesitation before a choice that part of you wanted to rush through, a gentle signal within your spirit urging you to slow down, to reconsider, to wait just a little longer. I saw those moments. I placed those impressions within you, and I watched as you brushed them aside, not because you were rebellious, but because you did not yet recognize where they were coming from. I am not bringing this up to condemn you for the times you overlooked my prompting. I am bringing it forward so that you will recognize my voice when it speaks again, because that next moment is drawing near. The next decision is closer than you realize, and what you choose then will affect much more than what appears directly before you. There are paths in life whose consequences cannot be seen at the beginning. My precious child, there are relationships that appear to be blessings while quietly carrying instability beneath the surface. There are choices that arrive with urgency, creating the feeling that you must act immediately, that you must decide now. That waiting even briefly will cause you to lose something important. But hear me today. Urgency is not always my voice. Pressure is not always my leading. The situation forming around you may carry that exact feeling, a strong sense that you must commit, agree, or move forward before you have taken the time to clearly hear my direction. I am asking you not to give in to that pressure. I am asking you to remember in that moment that I am already ahead of you. I already know where that road leads. If it truly came from me, it would bring peace rather than pressure. It would allow patience instead of demanding haste. Declare your amen if you have faith. My beloved child, I have watched you carry burdens that were never meant for you. I have seen you take on the expectations of others, the responsibility for outcomes beyond your control, and the quiet worry of an uncertain future. And I want you to hear this clearly. You were never created to carry life that way. I made you for something different. I created you to walk with awareness, to see clearly, to move with wisdom instead of impulse, and to choose direction instead of reaction. But in order to walk in that awareness, you must release the habit of allowing circumstances alone to drive your decisions. You must learn how to pause. You must learn how to become still even when everything around you urges you to hurry. Because it is within that stillness, my beloved child, that I speak most clearly. It is there that I can redirect your path, before your steps take you somewhere I never intended. There is something you are still holding on to, my child. Something that once seemed necessary, but now slowly steals your peace. It may be a pattern of thinking, a way of handling difficulty that once protected you but now keeps you trapped in familiar cycles. It may be a relationship or attachment that has become comfortable through time, even though it quietly drains your sense of peace and direction. I am bringing it into the light now, not to shame you, but to free you before the situation ahead uses it as an entry point. Because what is developing in front of you will try to enter through the places where you are still holding on to what should already be released. Let it go, my precious child. Whatever you place into my hands will not be lost. It will be transformed. Whatever you trust me with will not become smaller. It will return to you in a way that strengthens you instead of weighing you down. There is a pattern I want you to recognize, my beloved. A pattern of moving forward, even when something inside you signals caution. A pattern of ignoring the quiet guidance of your spirit. Because the movement of a situation feels louder than the gentle voice I use to guide you. I have watched this pattern appear in different seasons of your life and in different forms, yet it always comes from the same root. Moments when urgency sounded louder than wisdom, and you moved before the path became fully clear. I am not reminding you of your past to burden you with it. My beloved child, I am showing you this because that very same pattern is preparing to appear once again. And this time I am asking you to respond in a different way. This time I want your trust in my voice to be stronger than the pressure surrounding the moment. When you feel urgency beginning to rise, when something seems to require your answer, before you have had time to pause and listen, that is the very moment to stop. That is the exact moment to become still. That is when you must look inward and ask me if the direction pulling at you is truly the direction I am leading you toward. My precious child, I also want to speak about what surrounds you. About the voices, influences, and relationships that help shape the atmosphere where your decisions are made. Not everyone speaking into your life carries motives fully aligned with your well-being. Not every open door has been prepared by me. There are situations developing around you that appear dependable on the outside, while carrying instability hidden underneath. I am not asking you to walk through life with suspicion. My beloved, I am asking you to walk with discernment, and that is something very different. Discernment does not harden the heart. It sharpens the spirit. It helps you receive what is truly good while recognizing what only appears good on the surface. I am strengthening that discernment inside you right now, in this very moment, so that when the approaching decision stands before you, you will not be misled by appearances alone. State, I trust. There is also a need, my precious child, for you to carefully guard what you share, and who you share it with in the days ahead. The dreams within your spirit, the hopes you have carried quietly, the plans taking shape in your heart, and the direction you have been sensing from within. These things are sacred, and they should not be placed carelessly before people who cannot appreciate their value. There will be people around you who do not fully understand your growth, not because they wish you harm, but because they are still viewing life from a place that cannot yet recognize what I am building within you. Walk with wisdom during this season. Be careful with what you reveal from your spirit. What you protect during this season of growth will emerge stronger and more complete than if it had been exposed too early to environments that were not ready for it. My beloved, I also need you to understand that the tragedy I speak of does not always arrive as one dramatic event. It does not always come with noise and sudden impact. Sometimes it develops slowly through small choices that seem harmless on their own, but together create a weight that gradually changes your path in ways you never expected. A relationship that slowly steals your peace. A pattern of thinking that gently moves you away from the clarity I desire for you. A habit of ignoring my warnings until you eventually arrive at a place of struggle that could have been avoided if you had simply paused and listened when I first called to you. I am calling to you now, my precious child. I am calling with urgency wrapped in love, warning wrapped in protection, and with a voice that knows you completely and desires only what is truly best for your soul. Do not mistake the seriousness of this moment for condemnation. It is the exact opposite. I do not warn those I have abandoned. I do not speak urgently into lives I no longer care for. The very fact that you are hearing this voice, that something inside you recognizes the truth being placed before you and refuses to let you dismiss it easily, is proof that I am here. Proof that I am active in your life. Proof that I have not allowed you to walk into what is forming without first placing understanding around your spirit as a shield. My involvement in your life is not passive. My child, I do not simply watch from a distance and offer comfort after difficulties have already happened. I intervene beforehand. I place warnings before crossroads. I speak before decisions arrive so that when you face them, you do not face them unaware. You face them prepared. Now listen carefully, my precious child, and allow this to settle deeply within you. The warning I am giving you today is not the conclusion of our conversation. It is the beginning of a deeper journey together. A journey where you move through life guided by discernment instead of impulse. A journey where the voice within becomes clearer and more trusted with every step. I am not only protecting you from what is approaching, I am teaching you right now how to move through the rest of your life in a way that makes the kind of pain I am guarding you from less and less likely. Because when you learn to listen, when you learn to pause, when you learn to honor the quiet voice within over the noise of urgency and desire, you develop an inner compass that no circumstance can take away. And that compass, my beloved child, will continue serving you long after today has passed. Declare, I believe, my precious child. There is something coming that will test your patience, and I want you ready for it. It may appear as a delay. It may come as an outcome that does not arrive when you expected. It may be an answer that seems slower than you hoped. In that moment, you will feel tempted to take control yourself, to force a solution, to move ahead without waiting for my full direction, simply because waiting has become uncomfortable. I understand that discomfort, my beloved. I do not ask you to wait without recognizing that waiting can be difficult. But I tell you clearly that beneath the surface of your circumstances, things are being arranged by my hand. Any attempt to rush what I am carefully aligning will interfere with the good I am bringing rather than speed it up. The delay you feel is not rejection. It is preparation. And preparation is never wasted. I have also noticed how certain things have quietly been losing their grip on you. And I want you to understand that this is not happening by accident. There are habits, attachments, and ways of thinking that have gradually been falling away. Sometimes softly and sometimes through a sense of loss you did not fully understand. Some of what you released felt like part of your identity, and letting it go felt confusing rather than freeing. But I want you to see those moments through a different lens. My beloved child, what has been leaving your life has been creating room. It has been opening space within you for something far better, something more aligned with who I created you to be, and with the direction I am now leading you toward. Do not reach back for what has already left. Trust the clearing that is taking place. The soil that has been broken apart is not evidence of loss. It is ground being prepared for new seed, a harvest that will produce far more than the old growth ever could. You also need to begin recognizing the difference between what you want and what is truly good for you. My precious child, desire is powerful, and it can make things seem more valuable than they really are. There are things you may long for deeply that would bring sorrow if you received them exactly as they are now. There are relationships that may attract your heart while carrying hidden costs you cannot yet fully see. I am not asking you to deny your desires. I am asking you to bring them before me, to place them in my hands, and to allow me to show you which desires are connected to what I have prepared for you, and which are connected to wounds I am healing in another way. When you learn to do this, my beloved child, you will stop chasing what only appears right, and begin receiving what truly is right. And that change will transform the entire direction of your life. There is something within your surroundings, my precious one, that has been quietly influencing your thoughts and responses without you fully noticing it. It may be the voices you allow the greatest access to in your life. It may be the thought patterns you repeatedly return to when uncertainty appears. It may even be a presence around you that carries an atmosphere not aligned with the peace and clarity I desire for you. I am bringing this to your attention now, because you cannot step away from something until you first recognize it. When you clearly see what has been shaping you beneath the surface, you gain the ability to choose a different path. You gain the freedom to walk away from influences that have been directing you without your full awareness, and, together with my guidance, begin building the kind of inner and outer environment that supports the life I have designed for you, my child. I want to speak now about the approaching moment of decision, because it is nearer than you realize, and I want you fully prepared when it arrives. You will sense two different directions before you. One direction will feel familiar, comfortable, and easy to reach. It will seem like the simpler option, the path requiring less effort, the choice that does not ask you to step into uncertainty or trust what you cannot yet see. The other direction will ask something of you. It will require patience when patience feels difficult. It will require surrendering control in an area where control has felt safe. It will require trusting my guidance, even before the destination becomes visible. And I tell you now with complete certainty, my precious child, that the second direction is the one I am asking you to follow. Not because difficulty always proves something comes from me, but because in this particular moment, the comfortable choice leads directly toward the situation I have been warning you about. State, I received this today. Now, my beloved child, I want to speak about something deeper than the warning I have placed before you. I want to speak about the life I have always intended for you. The life that waits beyond this season of learning. The fullness I have been preparing you for through every challenge, every quiet season, and every time you chose to listen when it would have been easier to turn away. You were never created for a reduced life, my precious one. You were not formed to spend your days managing one crisis after another, moving endlessly from one avoidable struggle to the next, continually surprised by things I had already tried to show you. That was never my purpose for you. I prepared you for something greater, something that requires the awareness I am developing within you right now, something that becomes possible when you learn to walk closely with me in such an attentive partnership that warnings become less necessary, because you are already listening before the crossroads appears. There are beautiful things ahead of you, my beloved child. Things I have been preparing long before you ever knew they existed. There are moments of understanding coming that will feel like a burden being lifted from your shoulders, a burden you did not even realize you were carrying. There are relationships being aligned that carry real depth, genuine strength, and mutual support, the kind that builds you up instead of draining you. There are doors I am preparing to open at the proper time. And when they open, they will come with a deep sense of peace that requires no forcing, no second guessing, and no wondering whether you created the opportunity yourself. They will simply stand open before you, and you will walk through them with complete confidence that I placed them there. But the road to those moments passes through this one. The path toward what I am preparing goes directly through the decision that is now approaching. And the choice you make here, the choice to listen, to pause, and to trust my voice above the urgency of the moment, is what positions you to receive everything I have been preparing for you. My beloved child, I also want to address something you may have quietly wondered about, perhaps during the early hours of the morning when your thoughts are most honest. Perhaps during those quiet moments before sleep. You have wondered whether I truly see you. You have wondered whether your life is fully visible to me. Whether your daily struggles, your small choices, your hidden fears, and the hopes you have been afraid to speak aloud truly reach me. And I want to answer you with the same certainty that the sunrise follows the night. Yes, my precious child, I see every detail. Not from a distance as someone observing from far away, but intimately and completely as one who is present within the very center of your experience. I am not a distant presence who requires you to shout before I hear. I am as near as your next breath. I am as present as the heartbeat that continues without your effort. I am closer than the air you breathe and more attentive to your life than you have yet allowed yourself to believe. This is why the warning carries such importance, my child, not because what is approaching has greater power than I do. It does not. Not because the difficulty ahead cannot be redirected. It can. But because my love for you refuses to remain silent while you move toward something avoidable. My love insists on speaking. Even when speaking means interrupting your momentum. Even when receiving what I say requires you to stop something that seemed certain. Even when trusting my voice requires letting go of something your hands had already begun to hold. I will always place your protection above temporary comfort. I will always choose lasting peace for you over a momentary feeling of ease. And I will always tell you the truth you need, even when agreement would feel better in the moment, but would not serve you well later. My beloved child, I am asking for more than your attention right now. I am asking for a visible act of faith, a deliberate step that shows your trust is not only something you feel, but something you are willing to demonstrate. Bring before me a portion of what you hold, a seed placed upon the altar of this work, an offering laid into the foundation of my kingdom. When you release it from your hands and entrust it to mine, you loosen the grip that holding too tightly has placed upon your abundance. What has seemed closed will begin to open. The provision I have prepared will have a clear path to reach you. This is not a transaction. It is a declaration. It is your spirit expressing what your heart already believes. That you trust me more than the security of what you can personally hold. There is a strengthening happening inside you right now, my precious one. And I want you to recognize it as you receive these words. Something is changing in the deeper places of your spirit. In the places where old fears have remained. Where old habits have taken root. Where confusion has often found a home. I am moving there. I am not moving through force or disruption. I am moving with the quiet authority of one who belongs there. One who has the right to rearrange what has been misplaced. And to plant what should grow where the wrong things have been removed. You may not experience this change in a dramatic way. It may feel more like growing clarity, a gentle warmth returning to something that had become cold, a quiet confidence rising where uncertainty once ruled. But it is real. It is taking place. And it will continue as you continue aligning your trust with my voice. My beloved child, let me speak plainly about fear, because fear has accompanied your journey more often than I ever intended. It has spoken with the appearance of caution when it was actually doubt. It has disguised itself as wisdom when it was really standing in the way of steps I was asking you to take. There is a difference, my precious one, between the caution that comes from my spirit and the hesitation that comes from wounds that have not yet healed. My caution carries peace. It says wait with confidence. It says trust without worry. It says hold back, not because the future is dangerous, but because the timing is not yet complete. Fear carries something different. It says wait because you are inadequate. It says stay back because you will fail. It says trust nothing because the past taught you not to. I am asking you to learn that difference. My child, whenever you hear a voice urging you to pause, ask yourself whether peace is present within it. If peace is there, it is from me. If dread is attached to it, it comes from something I am working to remove from your life. There is also a conversation coming, my beloved child. An interaction that will carry emotional weight and will attempt to draw you into responding from feelings rather than truth. It may come from a place you do not expect. It may arrive through words that touch an old wound or through silence that seems to confirm a fear you have been trying to leave behind. I am preparing you now so that when that moment arrives, it does not catch you unaware, so that you respond from a place of stability rather than from a wounded place. Pause before speaking. Take a breath before deciding. Return to what you know is true rather than what the emotion of the moment is trying to convince you of. Your response will carry greater influence than you realize, and what follows will be shaped by the awareness you bring into that exchange. My precious child, I also want to speak to you about patience because patience is more than simply doing nothing. True patience is an active posture of the spirit. It is the decision to remain anchored in trust while circumstances continue to move around you. It is choosing to stand firmly in who I am and in what I have promised, even when what you see does not yet confirm those promises. This season requires that kind of patience. Things are moving beneath the surface that you cannot yet see. Alignments are taking place beyond what is visible. Good things are being prepared and positioned that will only become available when the foundation I am building is complete. Your patience during this season is not passive waiting. It is participation in preparation. It is your act of faith that the preparation is real and that the promise being prepared for you is on its way. Declare your amen if you have faith. My beloved child, I want you to begin seeing a larger picture because you have been viewing your life through a narrower lens than the one I am inviting you into. You have been looking at separate situations, individual decisions, and isolated moments of difficulty or relief as though each one stands alone. But I want you to understand that nothing in your journey exists without connection. Every step you have taken, every obstacle you encountered, every person who entered your life and every person who departed, every season of abundance and every season that seemed lacking, all of it has been woven together with purpose. Nothing has been random. Nothing has been accidental. Even the challenges that appeared most disconnected from any meaningful purpose have been among the most important tools shaping the person I am now calling you to become. You are not a collection of unrelated experiences, my precious child. You are a continuous story, carefully and intentionally written by my hand long before the first chapter began. And now you stand at a place in that story that carries more significance than many chapters that came before it. The decision before you, the awareness you are choosing to develop, and the voice you are choosing to follow instead of urgency and pressure. These are turning point moments. They are the kinds of moments that do not simply resolve one situation. They redirect the course of an entire story. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that what you choose to do with the truth I am placing before you today will reach far into your future. I am speaking with the certainty of one who sees that future completely, who already knows how every possible path unfolds, and who speaks now because the future I have prepared for you, the path I have prepared for you, the one that carries the fullness, the peace, and the purpose you have been longing for, requires you to hear my voice and place your trust in it today. My beloved child, there are dreams you have quietly tucked away, hopes and desires you once carried with confidence, but over time you learned to guard them more carefully because disappointment convinced you that hope can sometimes hurt. I see those hidden hopes, my precious one. I know every single one of them, and I want to tell you clearly that their season has not ended. The things you believed were lost because of timing, or because of choices made in less mature seasons, are not outside my reach. What seems delayed has not been denied forever. What appears buried beneath circumstances still carries life, because I am the one who placed that life there. And nothing that happens in the visible world can remove what I have planted within the eternal purpose I have for your life. But to receive everything I have been preserving for you, you must first move through this moment with the wisdom I am giving you now. You must pass by what is approaching with the discernment that keeps you from unnecessary detours and keeps you walking on the road I have prepared. That is why this warning is so important. It is not only guarding you from something, it is also protecting the path that leads you toward everything. My precious child, let me tell you what comes after you move through this moment with wisdom and obedience to my direction. I want you to see what waits beyond this crossroads, not as something distant or vague, but as something real that is already being prepared for you. Beyond the choice I am asking you to make, there is a deeper peace than you have yet known. There is a steadiness within your spirit that does not depend on everything around you being perfect, but comes from knowing deeply that you are held, guided, and protected by one who is completely good and fully able. There is a stronger sense of purpose waiting for you, a growing understanding of why you are here and what your life was created to bring into the world. There is an alignment of people, opportunities, and resources that I have been arranging in ways you could never have created on your own. And these things will begin to reveal themselves as you follow the direction I am placing before you. But more than any outcome, my beloved, what waits for you beyond this moment of trust is a closer walk with me. A relationship with my voice and presence that depends less on extraordinary moments like this, and more on the daily closeness of a spirit that has learned to listen. I do not want you to rely only on moments like this to find your direction. I want you to know my voice so well that I can guide you in the ordinary hours, in the small choices that seem insignificant, in the daily patterns where your character is formed and where your true purpose is most clearly expressed. This moment is an invitation into that kind of life, my cherished child. Not only a rescue from what is approaching, but the beginning of an entirely different way of walking. Now, my precious one, I want to speak to the resistance you may be feeling as you hear these words. There is a part of you that has become careful and cautious. I respect that. It is not opposed to faith. It is something I placed within you and it has its purpose. But I also want to speak to the deeper place inside you. The place that recognized truth in these words, before your mind had time to analyze them. The place where something quietly stirred and said, "This is true." The place where recognition appeared without effort and without explanation. Trust that place, my beloved. That is where my spirit dwells within you. That is where my voice rests. And that place knows the difference between truth and falsehood, even while your thoughts are still sorting through it. My cherished child, I am asking you to make a choice today. Not necessarily a dramatic declaration, though declarations of faith are powerful and welcome, but a quiet and firm decision within yourself, that when the approaching moment arrives, you will stop. You will breathe. You will remember that I am already ahead of you, that I already know where the road leads, and that my voice is more trustworthy than urgency, pressure, or convenience. That simple decision made today is an act of faith. It will change how you stand when the crossroads arrives. It will give you stability when pressure increases. It will remind you that you were warned beforehand, that you already chose how you would respond, and that honoring that choice is honoring your relationship with me. My beloved, you have carried many things by yourself. You have borne heavy burdens in silence, and you have done it without demanding attention, without insisting that others recognize your struggle, without making your pain the center of every conversation. I see that, my precious one. I have always seen it. And I need you to hear something clearly. You do not have to continue carrying everything that way. The burden of facing every uncertainty alone, making every decision with only your own understanding, and trying to protect yourself from every possible danger through constant vigilance was never my design for you. I am meant to walk beside you, not simply observe you from a distance. And as you draw closer to my voice, the weight you carry begins to be shared the way it was always meant to be. You bring your willingness, you bring your trust, you bring your attention. I bring vision, I bring protection, I bring direction, I bring provision. Together, my child, we move forward in a way far greater than either could be accomplished alone. Declare, I trust. There is something else I want you to notice as this season continues, my precious one. Pay attention to how certain things that once controlled you are slowly losing their power. Fears that once directed your choices are becoming quieter. Patterns that once seemed impossible to escape are beginning to break. Ways of thinking that once felt permanent are revealing themselves as choices instead of unavoidable realities. This is not happening by accident, my beloved. It is the result of the work I have been doing within you through every season of your journey, including the difficult ones, and perhaps most of all through those difficult seasons. I have been tearing down the things that were holding you back and replacing them with something stronger, something that reflects more clearly the person I created you to become. You are not who you were 2 years ago. You are not who you were 6 months ago, and 6 months from now, you will not be the same person you are today. Growth is taking place, my beloved child. Trust it, walk with it. Do not reach back toward old habits simply because they feel familiar or comfortable. Move forward into what is being formed inside you. My child, I also want to speak about the times when my answers to your prayers seemed delayed. I know there were moments when you asked with a sincere heart, and no answer appeared. Times when the silence lasted long enough to make you question things you hardly wanted to admit. Hear me carefully. My silence was never absence. What looked like delay was never neglect. There has never been a prayer that failed to reach me. There has never been a longing in your heart that I did not fully understand. What I did not always release immediately was not held back, because I did not care. It was guided by the same love that is speaking to you right now. Many of those answers required a season of growth within you before they could be received without damaging the very blessing they were meant to bring. They required the work I have been doing in your life. They required the growth that has been shaping you so that you could carry what I was preparing. The answer was never forgotten, my precious one. It was being preserved until the right time. And in this season, you are more prepared than you have ever been before. The wisdom I am growing within you, the discernment I am strengthening, the trust I am calling you deeper into, all of it is increasing your ability to receive what I have prepared. That is why this moment is so important. Not only because of the warning about what is ahead, but because of what is being formed inside you. The same awareness that will protect you from what is approaching is the awareness that will help you receive what I have been saving for the season beyond it. You cannot separate the two, my beloved. Protection and provision belong together. The discernment that keeps you away from harm is the same discernment that leads you toward blessing. Learn the lesson of this moment well, and you will not only avoid what I am warning you about, you will step into a season of receiving that has been waiting for this very growth to appear within you. My precious one, before this part of our conversation ends, I want to tell you what I see when I look at you. Not what you see during your hardest moments. Not the version shaped by shame or comparison. But what I see as the one who created you, and has always viewed you as deeply loved, full of potential, and precious in my sight. I see someone who has carried difficult seasons with more strength than they realize. I see someone whose desire to do what is right has remained alive, even when the way forward seemed unclear. I see someone standing at a meaningful moment, not because they have become perfect, but because they have become ready. Ready to listen more carefully. Ready to trust more deeply. Ready to step into the next season with the clear, steady awareness I have been building through every chapter of their life. That is you, my beloved child. That is the person I see. And that is the person I am calling forward right now. Not the version shaped by old fears or old wounds. Not the version that still doubts my voice. But the version being revealed through this very conversation. The one who recognizes truth when it is spoken. The one who is willing to stop and listen even when everything around them urges them to rush. The one who is choosing at this very moment to honor the connection between my voice and their spirit. That person has always been within you. That person is the one I am now calling into the fullness of the life I have prepared. Do not be afraid of what is ahead, my precious child. Walk toward it with the clarity I have given you, with the discernment I have strengthened inside you, with the understanding that you are not stepping into it blindly, and you are not stepping into it alone. I am with you. I have already seen what happens when you follow my direction. And what I have seen is good. I have seen a spirit move through a season of testing with grace, and come out on the other side stronger, greater, and more beautiful than before. That is the story I have written for you. That is the chapter unfolding right now, and every part of it is working together for your good, my beloved. Held securely in the hand of the one who loves you more deeply than words can fully express. Declare your amen if you have faith. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.